We're here today, another edition of the Diversified Mortgage Expo. Day one here with Kevin Shortle. Kevin, appreciate having you on the channel today. For the viewers that don't know you, maybe you could just introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin Shortle. I'm a well-known real estate note investor, also the #1 personal mentor on teaching people how to invest in notes, and a bestseller on Amazon too, Real Estate Without Renters, and been doing that for over 30 years now.
Love to hear it. A couple gems for individuals wanting to diversify their portfolios out of traditional real estate investments, maybe for an investor who's on the sideline looking at venturing into creative finance solutions like niche market real estate notes. What would you have to do to address them currently in maybe participating in some education that you have, or how would you go about that conversation?
Yeah, it comes down to this. When you look at real estate in general, and I've done real estate, traditional real estate, I've done the wholesaling, I've done the flipping, I've done the fix and flips, I've done the money lending, I've dealt with tenants and everything else, and it kept leading me back to, why don't you focus on the financial side of it, be the bank.
Absolutely.
And that's what you do. So instead of me doing loans, which I've also done in the past, I have the luxury of going back and looking at a loan that somebody else has already created. And then I can look at the track record. What have they done? Have they been making their payments? What's the property worth now? I don't have to go through underwriting and all that. All I have to do, and the single skill that's most important really with any investment, is the ability to identify a deal. So what I drill down on with people is you have to know how to do your due diligence. You have to know how to analyze these deals. And to truly master this business, you have to understand the numbers and the story, because they both go together. And when you can do that, that's when you can lower your risk to ridiculously small levels, maximize your returns. And then once you learn how to buy these long-term notes, a whole world of possibilities open up when you learn the advanced techniques like selling partials of notes and splits and all sorts of things like that. So there's a world of opportunity on a very passive level in the note space, and everything we're doing is secured by the property, which is the collateral. So we don't deal with tenants, toilets, all those issues, because I don't own the property. I just own the debt on the property, so I had none of those worries, none of those concerns, and none of those liabilities.
So becoming the bank, essentially, and for an individual that hadn't participated before, getting those due diligence items are ultimately going to provide you the comfortability to venture out into possibly a new asset class of real estate notes. And for a tired landlord, that's really important to understand, as they may fail to even make that jump because of lack of education. At the end of the day, that's really what it is. They understand the hardships of, property management, management fees going up, maintenance. When you go to 10 to 20 doors, that becomes a real issue for a high net worth investor.
100%.
That's why we're here today, even at Diversified Mortgage Expo, out exploring other opportunities, expanding networks, and meeting other individuals out in the industry.
Yeah.
Why? Because people do business with individuals they know, like, and trust, and to establish those relationships, give the pertinent education in order to operate efficiently is extremely important, super valid. So shout out to Nathan Turner for throwing Diversified Mortgage Expo. Go buy Kevin's book, Real Estate Without Renters.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon, and go to learn.kevinshortle.com. You can go to the website there. Find me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel as well. Social media, I do these nice little tips of the day, just little bite-sized pieces of things in the note business. And
Value.
Exactly. And I'll tell you, what you'll see is there's a much easier passive way to be involved in real estate. I closed on a deal while we were here. If you have a computer and the access to the internet, you can do this business.
Absolutely. You could buy a note today at mobilemailboxmoney.com. Happy to be here, Kevin. Appreciate having you on the channel.
Thank you very much.
That's Mobile Mailbox Money and Silvercrest Opportunity Fund here at Diversified Mortgage Expo.